G'day, I'm Murray, this is my backyard, and I've been collecting some stones. So recently I had three-phase power run from the house to the shed, and I had to switch junction boxes on the road. This is the shed, and all this area up here was a bit of a mess because when the trench got filled in, there were rocks and gravel all over the place. I haven't finished with this area yet. I still want to do some more levelling over here, a few other things, but I decided that I didn't want to be one of those people who complained for years about hitting rocks with the mower. I wanted to be someone who went and got rid of the rocks before they were a problem, most of the rocks. So as I say, I'm going to hit this area again at some stage when I'm finished the other side, I would expect. And we've got some areas that need some fill directly over the trench. We don't seem to have any spare fill, it must have been spread a bit. But you know, we had rocks all around the place. Dead ant's nest. And I've done a bit of fill here. Goes under the ute. And we're approaching the rear of the house. And that's where the power's coming from. So this should be about half of the rocks, because this side was 49 metres. And the other side of the house, there was a 49 metre trench there too, just by sheer coincidence. I probably did the easier side first. We've got mounds here and a fair bit of extra spoil that isn't needed here. But as we head up, we've got large rocks around the place. I'm not sure I have necessarily cherry picked, but we'll find out. There's ridges. This was filled in by a little digger, whereas the other side was filled in by a little dozer. A toy dozer, admittedly. But the ground is not level. We've got a major divot in some places, many rocks. We're going to need to move soil uphill. If this is going to be decently mowable, and I want it to be decently mowable and not spitting rocks at everything under the sun for years. So mounds, quite a big mound here. Definitely raised, a bit flat, pretty good, just this bit, and quite high and quite thick. This is the coal face where I'm presently working. Out the other side I just raked. Here I'm sieving, and we've got spoil piles. I am just about to bring the ute out and get rid of these piles and add to the piles already in the ute. So this area needs a bit more fill around here. This is an old water tank. Needs tidying up. And here we are at the junction box. I found a chunk of manganese. Might have to see how that cleans up. It feels solid all the way through. We get manganese around here. Botryoidal manganese is quite common. It's pretty cool stuff. Okay, that's the ute emptied. We've got a hollow over here, and we've got mounds across here. So for now I'm going to sort out that hollow, get it tidied up, and then move some of this extra earth we're going to get from up here down into the hollow. Any extra I'll use on the other side. Going from the house down to the shed, this first part looks really good. It's slightly mounded. Here though, we're starting to get to where vehicle traffic has actually caused it to get a bit depressed. And here as well. And this is all well done and good. We're getting into a bit that I haven't got to yet, where there is a bit of a divot. Towards the end down here, after we get through this divoted area, it's all very good around the actual trench, but I could smooth the edges out a bit to ease the angles on either side. Heading from the house across the yard, this I'm pretty happy with. There was a lot of sieving and a lot of raking, but it's all come up quite smoothly. It's been a good job. I'm happy with this, and there's no big rocks lying around. We're coming to the right hand turn where we head downhill at a bit of an angle. Kangaroo must have kicked a bit of the gravel out of place. And this was a lot more work down here. We're headed towards the part I haven't done yet. This is where I've left it. There's a lot to be sieved just here. It's quite raised, but I've got other jobs to do. I've had to leave the gravel there. I have too much to do to get ready. I've begun working in the garden. I haven't touched the gravel for over a week at least. It's going to sit there. It's not going away. I've got more to fill in out the one side and more to gather down near the junction box, or whatever it's called. But I just can't afford the time. I'm too behind. There's too much to do in the garden. We had the mildest ever Australian winter across the nation. Plants that normally die back didn't, and plants that normally are dead all through winter were re-sprouting before winter solstice, before the shortest day of the year, as opposed to spending another month and a half dormant. What is happening? I've noticed through plants that our winters have gotten progressively warmer, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years. Anyway, that means that our climate has changed and spring starts sooner. It used to be early to mid-September was considered the start of spring here because of the seasonal lag. I know the first day of spring could be the 1st of September, but it's really not. Sort of the 15th, 14th or 15th. But at the moment it seems to be more like the 1st. So I'm going to work in the garden for a while. Have a good one.